The Know Your Gear podcast.
This is from Diego, who says, question, Phil, Phil, haven't seen much videos from you regarding multi-effects pedals. What's your thoughts on the best quad cortex helix I'm thinking about purchasing, but I wanted to make a future-proof? No such thing as future-proof when it comes to anything digital, so get that out of your head. Like, this is all iPhone stuff, okay? This is you got to understand the future of this is two folds, okay? One is you buy digital products and they're not going to last. I don't mean physically like they break down. I mean just they're not going to be relevant or they're not going to last. It's an iPhone. It's a phone. It's a technology. It's a computer. So they're just not going to hold the value. Same thing with plugins and stuff like that. Maybe plugins have a longer shot because you can keep transferring them from computer to computer. But the whole point of that stuff is to evolve. Think about it just this way, Diego. Guitar amplifiers, tube amplifiers, are going backwards. They're trying to make them sound like they did, right? So that's why they can stay relevant for a long time. A perfect example, so you know, is absolute perfect example, Diego, is just think about it like I create content for a living. So think about this. I make a video about a tube screamer pedal. 7 years later, the video is still performing. It's evergreen. It just keeps performing. Somebody's always buying a new tube screamer and looking up tube screamer videos and watching it. But yet, my, Line 6 products or, Joyo products or name it, whatever products from 7 years ago, it's like they're not getting any views anymore. It's very rare. So they're just not that way. So don't think like that. It's not don't buy it. It's not against it. I'm actually for them. I'm just saying you really do need to come to that kind of like resolution with yourself. I tend to go with what I like with this, like anything else. I don't really have a preference for like the sound quality. It's always about the user interface to me. I like Kemper because its user interface is good. I like Helix a lot because it's super user interface. HX Stomp is one of the most fantastic units I think out there. Talking about a unit that's holding its own. I like the Axifex FM3 just because, again, if you notice, it's needs. I don't need elaborate rigs. I'm not doing shoegaze music. I'm not doing things where it's tons and tons of, 3 reverbs in a row running through 4 delays, running through 2 amps, split into 4 cabinets. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Everything is just simple. It's as simple as I can get it, just to get a good sound. So I like it kind of streamlined. So I would say when you're doing your research, a lot of people get really hung up on the AB sound quality, and do that too. I'm just saying a lot of people get like, okay, the Helix sounds not as good as the Axifex, and the Axifex doesn't sound as good as the Cortex, and so on and so on. What I will tell you is this stuff can lead to workflow problems, and workflow problems will kill the device for you. Imagine a world where if you got yourself a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, and you spent 20 minutes every time you turn it on trying to get, navigate the knobs and get something out of it, you're just going to stop using that amp altogether. It really needs to be simple as you turn on and play, and you're used to the workflow of it. So it's just really about workflow. And for me, in my experience, the easiest, without a doubt, is the, now I'm forgetting the name of it. What is it? It's not Line 6. It's the other one that's like Head Rush. Head Rush is the easiest. I personally didn't love the Head Rush sounds compared to the other units on the market. But for ease of use, I mean, it was plug and play, touch and go. It was just super easy. I couldn't imagine an easier thing than that. But I would say Line 6 for me. Then after that was probably Kemper. And then after Kemper, in my experience, now keep in mind, I've never tried the Quad Cortex, so I don't know. Quad Cortex, when it came out, they reached out to me. I remember it was the 2020 NAMM show because I was super busy. I had so many appointments. It was the busiest NAMM show I've ever been. It was the last NAMM show I've ever been to and probably may ever go to because it was just so much workload. And I went there and they asked me to come to the booth and we set up some time to look at the unit. And then when I got there, they were like, there it is. I looked at it for a few minutes and I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was just like looking at it going, that's pretty cool. I think they hadn't come out yet. So that's my advice. My advice is do a lot of research about the interfaces and try to do your best kind of like how you feel about the interfaces. I've tried Tonex as well too. Tonex is probably the best affordable one, although I'm not a fan of Tonex's interface for their computer. Their computer software was me and them no moss, no good. And again, this is, keep in mind how I say it. It's not their system sucks. I watched a couple of reviews and they were like, their software is horrible. I'm a software designer and even I know it's horrible. I don't know anything about that when it comes to that stuff. I'm just telling you, it did not work for me, right? Their software. So Tonex was eventually, and I've owned the Tonex unit twice, and I've owned the mini Tonex once, and it was same thing. It was just, I don't know, I didn't enjoy it as much. I thought it sounded a little better than the Helix and the HX Stomp, but again, interface always wins. I don't know why. It's not any product's fault. It's just sometimes something clicks with you better. So that's my advice. So if you like this clip and you'd like to watch another one, you can click right here. And if you want to see the entire episode of the podcast, you can click right there. As always, thank you for your time and know your gear.